You mentioned the book by Professor Gross on Jedwabne. I thought that was a particularly chilling book in that the murder is being done by people who knew the people they were being murdered. In the context of what you're talking about, though, I wonder if there are examples of ethnic groups getting along together where this tension doesn't result in some kind of continued and growing tension and ultimately in violence. Are there areas where ethnic groups cooperate and reduce the kind of things you're talking about?
Yes, there are, and even in the areas that we are talking about, for much of the time, for much of history, and you have mixed ethnicities living side by side in the eastern borderlands, in the borderlands of Eastern Europe, going back to the 1500s. For much of the time, they coexist. Not only do they coexist, they are interdependent. Because, as I mentioned before, to a large extent, there is also, they are organized according to certain socio-economic criteria, and they fulfill certain social and economic roles within these societies. In many ways, certainly in the Russian Empire, one spoke of the Jews, for instance, as being one estate. They were part of the social makeup of that society. So in that sense, before nationalism shows up, or as some would have it, rears up its ugly head, then there is, by and large, less violence. However, there are periods in which that violence does erupt. The best known case, and probably the most prominent in Eastern Europe, is the case of the Cossack and peasant uprising in 1648, the Khmelnytsky uprising, in which, of course, the main target of peasants and Cossacks are the Poles, who are the rulers, the feudal lords of these areas of what is now Ukraine, but those who pay the highest price in blood and lives are the Jews, who are seen as their agents. But there are, even today, of course, many examples, or let's say some examples, I shouldn't exaggerate, of inter-ethnic cooperation and coexistence. My old friend and excellent sociologist, Rogers Brubaker, who has written on groups and ethnicities, many studies and many books, has recently published a book on the city of Koloshvar, or Cluj, in Transylvania, where there are, it is now in Romania, but there is a large Hungarian minority there. And although one cannot say that there are no tensions there, these two groups now are living side by side without any violence, and have been doing so for a long period of time. So one should not think that ethnic groups cannot live side by side. Rather, one should look for the reasons why that kind of ethnic coexistence can at times deteriorate, can be manipulated by ideologues, by politics, and can turn into extreme inter-ethnic violence.